Sleight of hand that twists the knife, falling over like a chainsaw. You can touch it if you like, with the distant memories, like a bird that's flying away, that's soaring through the Andes, crashing down against the rain. Well, it's almost over, and it's coming in strength. I'm looking forward to going insane. You can check my papers, you can pick my brain, 'cause they're going nowhere when you're going insane. Falling over like a log, who's hallucinating that we've abandoned them all, like a story long ago, to my energy flow. We cannot conceive of miracles actuated by your love. Well, it's almost over, and it's coming in strength. I'm looking forward to going insane. And you can check my papers, and you can pick my brain, 'cause they're going nowhere when you're going insane. Comes right toward me, and lies will be true when I lie with you. Stranger for me comes right toward me, and lies will be true when I lie with you. Well, it's almost over, and it's coming in straight. I'm looking forward to going insane. You can check my papers, you can pick my brain, 'cause they're going nowhere when you're going insane.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sisterhood of the Warrior Queens. I am your host, Ariel Coulter, Ariel Truth Seeker here, and I'm so excited to be here. It has been such a whirlwind of a week for me, so I know you guys, I'm not sure if you remember, I was in Florida last weekend with Shelly Aller and Jennifer Waters Above and several other ladies who had birthdays in February, and we celebrated Shelly Aller for the Sisterhood of the Warrior Queen Sunday for that week. And I mean, Jennifer Waters Above also had a birthday, and so did I, but that week we were celebrating Shelly, and I had so much fun and enjoyed immensely and thoroughly seeing her home and getting to interact with some of her hobbies and looking at all of her plants and everything. Gosh, she's got 2 green thumbs, and I love it. I want to be there. I want to have 2 green thumbs too. So let me just say hi to everyone who is here. So hey, Waters Above. Oh my gosh, it was great talking to you earlier too. I love you, sis. And Sue, oh my gosh, you better. I'm coming for you this week because we're gonna have our talk next week. I'm so excited. Good to see you. Let's see who else is here. Awakened Mind. He says, is it cool for a heterosexual man to partake? You know, this one time, just because you asked so nicely, yes, you are more than welcome to watch, as long as you stay silent. No, I'm kidding. Everyone is welcome. Good to see you. Serious Truth, hello there. And Steffi P, I saw you earlier today, so thanks for stopping by, sis. Oh, I need to talk with you. I haven't talked to you in forever. Oh my gosh, today, you guys, we have Dottie from Dottie's World. And let me just go ahead and if I can work this, we're gonna just bring on my amazing friend, Dottie. Hello.
Hey, thank you.
Welcome. It is an honor and a privilege to have you. And where are you calling in from?
I am in Washington State, and I'm just currently standing in my yard right now.
Washington State. Oh, it looks like beautiful, but Washington State is probably cold right now.
It can be very chilly, yeah. And so there's like one little corner of my driveway where the sun is shining down, and I am such a frost tender flower that if the sun is out, I need to go out and enjoy it. And yeah, my family that I live with, they sleep kind of late, and so I didn't want to like disturb them by being on the stream, and so I just came outside, and it's so where the sun is, but yeah, I'm like super tired of the cold gray winter, so
I don't blame you at all, sis. I don't blame you at all. And we met, let's see, at Flattoberfest, my first one last year, but that was not your first one, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So I have been to Flattoberfest the last 2 years in a row, and then I went to Solar Return last year as well, and then the other really big one that I went to was the Dallas 2019 conference. And then after that, I've been to like quite a few meetups, and I've hosted 5 of my own meetups. And
What? That's
yeah,
awesome.
cool.
That is so cool. Okay. So, oh my gosh, I had so much fun at Flattoberfest. And you did not get to make it to Florida this year at Flatlantic, right? No,
Correct.
I didn't see you there. Oh my gosh, that would have been so awesome. But that's a far drive. Did you drive? Did you fly? How did you?
Yeah, I flew over there, and so I flew on Sunday, and I flew like overnight, so I arrived kind of early in the morning, and I stayed with Bob and Cammie Nodell, and so Cammie and
Yay.
airport, and so then I was at Cammie's all week before Flattoberfest, and it was just fantastic. I had such a good time, and we were getting, stuff together like the name tags and helping Jack with his flyers, and nice to be there and relax for a few days and not really have a lot to do, because once the weekend came and Friday was there and everybody was arriving, and from then until Sunday it's just like a blur. There's so much happening and so many people to see, and so then I ended up staying until the following Thursday, so I was there for over a week, and yeah, I'm so glad that I did it that way, because I knew it was going to be exhausting that weekend of Flattoberfest. And so, yeah, I had a vacation before and after to just relax with Cammie by the river. And yeah.
Oh man, that sounds like, oh gosh, I cannot wait to talk to Cammie. She has just a wealth of knowledge, just full of it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to talk to her. But that's amazing, and I'm glad you had a fun time. I'm so glad I was able to meet you. Do you mind just starting at the beginning for me? So, what brought you onto your like truth awakening journey?
Okay. Well, so it was November 2017 that my boyfriend at the time, I found like Flat Earth and Owen Benjamin like about the same time. And so he showed me a video from Jeranism, and he was like, okay, like this guy is a flat earther, but like just listen to the video. Even aside from that, I was like, he's a flat earther. Like, what are you talking about? That just like there's no way. And so yeah, I listened to the video, and it was comparing religion to scientism, and like it just really blew my mind. And then I just started spiraling like through Darren's stuff, like his NASA stuff, and it hit me really, really quickly that what I thought was not correct. But it took me a really long time until I would start talking to people about it, because I knew how like my Facebook friends would react. And so it took me like 9 months to even share a meme about flat Earth. And the reaction was, unexpected. Gust of wind just came through. But yeah, so I had been like kind of aware of some stuff, like I wasn't huge on politics, but I still voted at that time. But I was becoming aware of like the problems with our food system and just money and the pharmaceutical companies. But as far as anything else, I wasn't an active like researcher. I wasn't into conspiracies. That just wasn't really my thing. I watched TV, and I was a NASA fangirl, and just totally normal and oblivious. And so I feel like I kind of did conspiracies like backwards from a lot of people, because I found flat Earth, and then the next one was the moon landing, and then 9/11, and then it just kind of never ended after that.
After that, right?
In the rabbit hole there, I wasn't coming back out. And
No. That's crazy. So you've been awake for a while because you said it was back in 2017. So you have seen a lot. And Flat Earth was you started with Flat Earth. Flat Earth got you into conspiracies and the government and everything, which is pretty cool. What was it about Flat Earth for you that stood out the most at the beginning?
it was really it was really the moon landing that did it for me, because once you realize that NASA was created to lie about the moon landing, everything else from them is then it's complete nonsense. I mean, I was born in 86, so I'm of the generation that like space has always been like a thing, and the moon landing was something that I had just never once thought about. I didn't care. It's almost like I had never seen like anything from it. It just was something in the past that I didn't care about. And then the second that I actually looked at the footage from it, it was an immediate like, oh, uh-oh, like that the meth heads tree fort really didn't go to the moon. Like it didn't happen. And so it's really crazy how quickly it was literally like a light switch flipping, it just, as soon as I saw it, it changed everything. And now at this point, I don't really care for the term flat earther, just because at the end of the day, you don't really know what exactly it is. But I will agree that if 70% of the earth is water, then at least 70% of it is flat for sure. But I'm
Yes.
definitely more of I've been a fan of like a giant tree earth for quite a while now.
Okay. I like that.
I don't know, but I mean, if you're like comparing globe Earth to something else, it's easy to say flat Earth, because it, it's a big enough jump that people will have questions about that. But
Right.
at the end of it, I really have no idea what it is, but
Right.
definitely so.
Oh gosh, that's crazy. And you're right. It really doesn't matter. It's just all the fact that we've been lied to, right? Like that's what we really need to talk about. And lies is how it all comes back to. So how's your family with all of this? Are they on board? Are they awake to the government? Are they awake to flat Earth? How are you
They,
treated?
they are definitely not. And it is a little bit like of an interesting dynamic, because I live with mom and granny, and yeah, they have a hard time with a lot of it, and most of it we just really don't talk about, honestly. They know that I go to, like, when I'm going to go to a meetup or Flattoberfest or something, they're like, oh, will I help you have fun at your flat earth thing? And then when I come home, they're like, so did you have a good time? And I say, yes, I did. And they're like, okay, that's good. But that's about where it ends.
Yeah.
They would
Yeah.
meet up with me. And, yeah, honestly, dealing with them is not nearly as difficult as, um, dealing with my son's dad is a little bit more difficult, because all of this happened. My awakening happened after I had split up with him. And
I
so
see.
I awakened and he did not. And so I thought completely different 10 years ago when we had our son, compared to when, 2017, and it literally everything changed. And, yeah, for the most part, it has been like fine with him until, uh, 2020 came around, and all all of that nonsense started happening where we disagree heavily, but
so the rest of your family is following the narrative as well.
yeah, definitely. Luckily though, my mom and granny, out of all the rest of my family, all the rest of my granny's children and, cousins, nephews, like there's only a couple of us who have not taken the jab. And I'm really just like happy that my mom and granny have held so strong in not getting it, because like literally all the rest of our family has gotten it except maybe a couple of cousins. And yeah, it's really wild, but
That is a blessing though.
yeah, exactly. I was really pleased that they held strong with that. And they don't like bother me about it. My granny hardly ever leaves the house, but if she does, she'll wear like a face shield or a mask or whatever. And my mom doesn't care about wearing masks, but like if I don't wear one, they don't tell me that I have to. I don't tell them that they don't have to. It's just like we all just let each other do what we're gonna do, and it works fine. But yeah.
Hey, that's awesome. That's more than a lot of people have, Some people are super stressed out by their families, and their family turns into this really toxic thing. So even though they're not like super accepting and don't really sound like they are interested in even discussing or talking or but hey, I'm glad it's not that stressful
Right.
for you.
Exactly. Yeah. Like everybody has their journey, and they're not hating on my journey, so I'm not going to hate on theirs. But
right.
It's been interesting living back with family again, because I haven't lived with them for I think it's been probably about 10 years or so since I lived with them. But then I've had a ton of roommates. I've had different relationships, and now at this point, I'm almost 36, and I have definitely been wanting my own place, because I've been here about a year and a half. And
yeah.
But the very, very exciting thing is finally that dream is becoming a reality. So
Yay.
a friend of mine, he had an extra house up here, and he doesn't want it anymore. He got it for a great price and agreed to sell it to me for an even lesser price. And so I don't have to go through loans or, 30 years of debt or whatever. I get to have my very own like first home, and I get to have a garden that is going to be so much bigger than what I've ever had. And so I'm feeling very, very blessed and very thankful that this opportunity came up. And so I'm so excited for it.
Yes, you have every reason to be, and I'm so excited for you. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. See, you're gonna have so much fun decorating, and oh my gosh, I know there's gonna be a lot to do, but that's exciting. And you just remember that the creator will always look after you. He will always provide what you need, So things are gonna are coming your way, sis. That's awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like last year I was praying a lot for strength and guidance, and just to be given a purpose. And I've known that part of my purpose is in the garden for a while now, but and I've made do with what I have. I'm standing like in my part of my garden right now, but I have like a little garden bed and some grow bags, and so I've been growing what I can. But the other blessing that I was given is I decided to paint every day of this year. And And the amount of like peace and joy it has brought to my life is, I swear, it's an answered prayer for what I was begging for last year. It's finally coming through with me uh, pursuing my dream of being an artist and painting. And yeah, it's just, oh my gosh, the wind.
Oh my gosh. That is so cool. And I actually have a video. Hold on. You okay? You got it? You good? Can you still hear me and everything? Let me hold on, guys. Dottie has a awesome video that's going to showcase and show off her very first month of work, guys. Like, it's really cool, I feel like, to be able to see one's progression. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on. Can you see the screen, Dottie? Yeah? Okay.
Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What you see, well-defined explanation. If you want a view of paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Wanna change the world? There's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with your imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you choose to be. If you wanna view paradise.
Oh my gosh, that was so good. And Dottie, like, you were good anyway. So like, hold on, now I gotta try to remove it. Okay, there we go. So you start out good, and then you see your ideas, you get more, you try different things, and the metallic at the end. Oh, that was so pretty. I loved that gold, but it is really, really cool.
Yeah, the thing that I've noticed about doing this every day is it is really challenging me to try different things, try new techniques. I was doing just acrylic, and then I learned how to use watercolor, and it has just been so very rewarding. And it's like a really nice meditation time, really, because a lot of times I'll turn on something that I want to listen to, and then I just zone out. And sometimes I will follow a picture, or I'll take ideas from videos or something. Sometimes, though, I swear these paintings are getting channeled just straight out of the ether. I mean, there's no other way that other place they can be coming from, because it just like comes out, and it's such a wonderful gift to do something that transcends language. And I feel like that is true with art and music and just things like that you create, that there's so many ways to express yourself that doesn't have to be in a spoken form to express. But I have a couple of my favorite paintings that I've done this week, and as good as some of the paintings were in January, this month I can without a doubt attest to the fact that my skill is improving, and it's improving really quickly in just awesome ways. And I just feel like really accomplished right now.
Yes, show us, girl. Show us. Oh wait, let me get up close. We need the up close and personal. Wait, can I do this? Can I do her? I want to do just her. Can I do just her? How do I make it just you, girl? Solo. Hey, I did it. You go. Go ahead.
Okay, so I really want to paint Northern Lights, and I've tried I think this is the third one that I've tried, but this was the first one that I'm really pleased with.
Oh my gosh, that one is beautiful. Those mountains are spectacular. Like I want that. I want that one. Dibs.
Yeah. So the most exciting thing is in January, it was in that video, the Paisley design that I did. That was the very first painting that I sold, and
Okay.
one of my bear friends bought that. And then I did another one that was a sunset and a mountain and then a fisherman and a like fishing bear. He bought that one. So now I've sold two paintings.
That's
This
all.
one this one is the next one that a friend of mine saw it and he said he absolutely wants it. So it is going to be sold as well. And then I have even another one. There's like a moon and a gray background, and then there's a tree with flowers on it. Jennifer Waters Above, she is interested in that one. So already, a month and a half in, and I'm already, selling my art.
Yes.
So this
That is
is
significant.
that a
Oh
friend.
wow. Oh, and you said someone already has dibs on this one? Oh, move it more to the left, I guess. Yeah, there you are. There we go. Oh wow, look at those. And it's like you're laying on the ground and you're looking up at the star. Oh, that's beautiful, Dottie. I wish I was, talent. I haven't tried though, but I wish I was talented like that.
This one, you were saying how you like the metallic, and I'm like obsessed with the metallic paint right now. I can't get enough of it. And this one, you can't really see it in this light, but there is metallic
Oh,
in it.
really? Oh man.
The light, it's just, ooh, it's shimmery and it is nice.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to put in a request. I'm gonna have to put in a. I should have put in a request for my day. I would have said so. February 14th would be the day for Ariel. You draw a painting for her, and she'll pay you.
So actually, funny you mentioned February 14th. Let me find it. So most of my paintings are in a notebook. I have a lot that are on canvases, like the ones that I'm going to sell. I put those on canvas because then you don't have to buy a frame for it. And so I will take, custom orders, no problem at all. And then also next month, I'm going to start doing a live auction, and so the paintings that I did that month will be up for auction. But for February 14th, I did this one, and it is one of my favorites. I love it so much. I'm a big fan of The Office, and this quote is from The Office. So
I'm in love. I was hit by a Cupid sparrow. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Look at those flowers. Oh man, I love it. Oh, look at that heart. And you did a bird too. Oh my gosh. I
I'm
love
so
the
proud of
colors.
my little bird. I think it's so cute and so awesome. So that quote I was laughing about that for, I swear, a couple of days after I watched that episode. It was so funny to me. And so I knew that I wanted to do that on Valentine's Day. And so that was the one that I did. And so this one, I got a color wheel off of the internet and I asked my friend, hey, pick two opposing colors on the color wheel. And he chose pink and green. And so I did.
Ah, flower bouquet. Love it. Oh, I love the spirals of the flowers.
Yeah, that one was incredibly fun because he didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know what colors he was going to choose. I had no idea what was going to come out of that. And that was a really fun challenge.
That was a cool challenge. Oh
And
gosh. Oh, we got another. Let me see. So which day was this one?
this is the last one I'm going to show you. And this one, I did it last night, and it is probably, without question, one of my all-time favorites. It is so awesome. I'm like in love with it. This one to me shows that my skills as an artist have grown exponentially. And I painted this specifically for, there's a big bear meetup coming up next week, and we're all encouraged to bring things to sell and trade. And so I'm taking a ton of jam because I also make jam, but then I'm also doing a series of paintings with bears in them. So I did the first.
Ah,
Yeah.
Dottie, Dottie, look at that. That was awesome. That is definitely going to sell because I want to buy it.
This one is like, I'm so I'm so in love with it, but I love it so much that I want someone else to love it as well. So I'm okay with selling it. Some of my art is, it's hard to think of parting with because like it's a part of you. You know, you're creating a world that only existed in your mind, and
Right.
you're expressing that onto something. And but yeah, so I did the first fishing one which sold, and then I'm like, okay, how can I incorporate bears into these paintings? And
Look at
I mean,
there. That's perfect. Oh my gosh. And you are only going to keep getting better from here. And I know you said that this is your favorite one, but guess what? Tomorrow is probably going to be your favorite. And the day after that, every day. And that's how it's supposed to be. Like, I think for me, like, I'm excited for you because this will give you at least a little bit of excitement every day because every day you're going to get better and every day is going to be a new, memory, a new talent. Like, something to keep it fresh. I feel like we all should have something that we do every day that gives us, that joy, that shows us our progression, shows us our talent, gives us energy. And you're making jams. That's so cool. Jamming is difficult.
you know, it can be very difficult. It is more time consuming than it is difficult, I found. Because it's it's a good, good couple hours of a process. So last year I picked a ton of blackberries and I made fresh blackberry jam with that, and blackberry cobbler. I made a lot of blackberry stuff last year. And so yeah, that was the first time I made jam. And then now, since nothing is really in season, I've just been experimenting with different frozen fruits. And so I have done a couple different blackberry ones. Then I did a mixed berry, and then I did a spicy one that it had jalapenos, pineapple, peach, mango, and strawberry. And that
Yes,
one,
and Jennifer just said that. She said she's looking forward to her peach pineapple jalapeno
yeah,
jam. That's cool.
so that is the next spicy one that I'm gonna do. There'll be a pineapple peach habanero, and I'm so excited for it. It's gonna be just delicious. And yeah, the very next one that I'll do probably tomorrow is strawberry, because since I got frozen fruit, I let them thaw out because they're easier to deal with.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I'm planning on taking probably 3 different kinds of jam and then a ton of bear paintings, and those will all be sold and bartered for other stuff. And it's really the way to go. As much as I love Flat Earth meetups, there's
Mhm.
something different and something very special about bear meetups, because um, this bartering system that we've been doing at the last couple I've gone to is really unlike anything that I have experienced, being like mostly a city girl for a really long time. And it's a very wholesome experience. And so the last meetup I went to last week, I took 12 jars of blackberry jam and I sold half of it. And then the other ones, I got 4 dozen farm fresh eggs, and then I got a huge jar of pickled onions, and then another huge jar of pickled eggs. And that was all just because I made jam and, had that.
Wow.
It was like the best food that I've had in such a long time. And it's such a good community to do stuff like that. And
Yeah.
so we're gonna host a meetup, like definitely encourage people to bring stuff, because the one we did in November, I got this just beautiful handmade mug, and I got like fresh honey and a really nice painting. Like it's such a wonderful way to get someone else has created. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what it should be, right? We should be bartering and trading within our own community because we need to be recycling our own dollar, recycling our own resources within our own community so that we know where it's going and we know we're getting good quality. I wish we could do that with all foods, with everything. And I would love to. I haven't gotten into the bear community. So that's Owen Benjamin. And I have listened to him a little bit, but if people, for people like me, where would we go to get in plugged into the bear community? Because he's not on YouTube. I know he's on Odyssey.
Yeah. So yeah, he's on Odyssey and he's on BitChute. There will be like clip channels from the Bears on YouTube, and then TikTok clips. But he also has a paid website, which is unauthorized.tv. It's $5 a month, and there's probably 20 different creators on there. Owen's not just one of them. So if you like Vox Day, or you like Made by Jim Bob, or Chuck Dixon, he's a famous comic book writer. He created a lot of things in the comic book world. There's all kinds of different people on this website.
Mhm.
And so, even if you're not there for Owen, there's all kinds of stuff. But, for $5 a month, you can.
Right. You can't beat that for $5. So, who else do you listen to besides Owen Benjamin?
Let's see. I listen to him the most probably, but I also like Crow 777, Globe Busters. Brian Staveley is awesome.
Brian.
No,
And
I
Crow
think
777, they do their own website as well, which is like $7 a month. So, I mean, if you guys are looking for places to really invest your money, and you're supposed to invest in what you like, right? Support what you like, and you don't want to, give money back into the system. So, Crow 777, Ben Owen, Benjamin Owen. You said Globe Busters, Stavely, Brian Stavely, Emmy Effect. So that's a lot. That's a lot of different things. What are some of your favorite rabbit holes then to run down? Is there something in particular that you like researching the most, or a trend, or something that you follow the most?
I mean, I really enjoy the mud flood stuff. Uh, Mostly right now, one of my other favorite channels is actually a gardening channel. It's called Houston Refuge Farm, and that's one that I watch a ton, just because it's so applicable to my life, and seeing the garden that she had, that is what gave me the dream and the vision to want the gardens that I want. And so I get just tons of information from her about just how to build your garden and stuff like that. But yeah, I do definitely like the mud flood stuff, Tartaria, paint architecture. I think that's all really fascinating. And there's just there's so many lies throughout history that
Great.
even if we think that we're like finding the truth in something, you honestly have no idea where it's been changed back along the years. But
That's
yeah.
I was looking at the comments and stuff while you were talking, and Anthony shouted me out and said, "Pay attention to what Sean Griffin is pointing out with very soon as a community store." Oh, the Kingdom in Context. And do you know that? Are you familiar with him or that channel or anything?
No, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. We need more stores, right? We need more people who are putting out risk, because that's a lot of. I mean, even though we are in the system and we hate the system, we have money. We have to use money. Everything costs money, right? It's all monopoly paper. It holds no value, but whatever. That's another story. But we need to have that stuff. And I don't want to get too off topic, because you were talking about Tartaria and mud floods and how history is a lie, and that is so true. Everything that they've messed with the timeline so much, anything to just keep us in the dark. One of the things that for me with the mud floods, the pictures, right? And they say that we built these awesome buildings during the horse and buggy era, like,
yeah.
And I never put two and two together before, but they never, we've never stopped to think about that, right? Like, normal people don't have a reason to really think outside the box. What would really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the ancient architecture, that is something that is just endlessly fascinating to me, because some of these, you look at these pillars and it's all one solid piece. It's not like multiple little pieces of pillars stacked on top of each other. It's all just one solid piece. And stuff like that just leads me to think that, there were giants, they had different technology back then that we just are not tapped into right now. And but there's literally zero possibility that these structures were created in 2 years. So, some of these timelines that they give, it's just, it's pure insanity. There's no possible way to create that in 2 years, unless you are a advanced civilization that, something that we don't now. And, yeah, definitely, it's pretty clear that something else was going on.
Something else completely. Oh my gosh, that is so true. Sorry, I'm trying to do too many things at one time. Kept talking to people and everything. So with the going back to the lying and the deception, awakened mind is saying, sorry, let me show you. I need to stop apologizing. I know it's something that's just like inherent in me. Our mind. So he's talking about the Mandela effect. So we're going to switch subjects like super fast, because I'm ADD HD squirrel. He was saying that the Mandela effect is spiritual, empowering once you grasp the implications. Our minds shape and construct reality, vibration, slow on this plane, but still malleable. Emotion, backing, visualization works. And then one more awakened mind, you get one more. We now know sound, vibration, intention. I agree with him. Do you?
Yeah, definitely. It's the Mandela effect is something so interesting, because there's no doubt to me that stuff is changing. I can't really explain it. It just leads me to think that this place is, definitely more than we thought it is. And it's like, while the system can change around it, we definitely can affect the change in it as well. Group prayers or group meditation or just group good intentions, stuff like that really does work. And we absolutely can affect stuff. And that's another reason that I am so drawn to the bear community is they are all about growing and building. Well, we still have to be in this world. We still have to be a part of certain systems, but we can also make it better while we're
Mhm.
here. And we can do things to be removed from the system because these farm fresh eggs that I got, it may seem so simple, but to me, like that's a $5 to $8 dozen of eggs.
Right.
And it's so easy for me to make jam and then trade that like there's great value in that. And so yeah, it's like some things seem to be out of our control in the way that it changes, but there's so much that still is in our control that we can affect a greater good and make something better. Even if it's just something as simple as cleaning up your local beach, like cleaning the
Right.
trash. That one section of the world is now better because you made it that way. And
Yes. Yes, putting forth your own effort, and at least trying and like you said, your intentions. I totally agree with you 100%, Dottie. I wish that more people could think on that bigger scale because everyone is so internalized. It's all selfish, right? It's all what can I get? How can I outshine the other person? But it has nothing to do with what can I contribute to the greater good? And I really would love to get involved with the bear community, honestly, because I feel like that's how we figure out who's good at what, who's making the candles, who's making the jam, who's doing, the things, because there's so many things that we're going to be able. I don't know how long, but we need to be learning how to make our own stuff completely, totally. From our clothes, our shoes, cars. If we keep doing that, I don't know, but the little things we need to know. And I'm so glad that I know you because I can get jam from you at least. I don't know what I'm going to trade you for it. Maybe I'll find some fruit and say, okay, here you go. You can you can make me some jam, please. Oh gosh. What do you think, like, if you could give advice? I was going to say, like, give advice to people about, that type of thing. So say for me, like I don't have anything that I'm doing or that I make or anything. Would you have anything to tell me, like what I could put towards the community?
Um, yeah, absolutely. Because, you say that you don't have anything, but you really just haven't discovered it yet. Because I have always been a creative person. I'm a Pisces. It just comes naturally to me to want to be crafty and to just something cool. And so I still make them, but I haven't for a little while now. But I make these little flat Earth domes, and they're just like a little paperweight. And I was inspired to make those because um, Chris Pontius, he makes these giant like table flat Earth models. They have electronics in them, and the lights are moving. Like they're very, very impressive. Well, I did not have the space or the money for giant piece like that. And so I asked him if he made something handheld, and he said he didn't. And so I just made my own, I just figured out a way to make them myself. And I always sell them at like the flat Earth, events and whatever that I go to, and people just really love them. And the same with uh this painting is like I've done a couple paintings before, and then I did quite a few last year, but then I decided to just commit to doing this every single day. And the level that I've grown to in that short time is unreal. And I wouldn't have thought to do this as, a career opportunity if I hadn't just like been willing to stick with it every day. And so now like very, very confident that I can sell my art to people. And so in some ways, I wish that I could do more for like the flat earth community, or, like I feel like I should spread more truth. This seems to be the way that I'm spreading the goodness. Like, it doesn't have to be a in your face, like, getting hit with these truth facts or whatever, but you can still like take a piece of my world and be in a better space. And so, yeah, for someone who says like they don't have anything to add, you really just haven't found it yet. And because literally everybody has something to add, something, everybody is interested in something, or can just, literally every single person knows something that you don't know. And so there's something you can learn from them. And I think there's great value in a community, because I am not great at everything. And I will not try and say that I am. Like, in general, I do not like to be the one who comes up with a plan. I will be so spontaneous and do most anything if someone else just has the plan and implements it. And, someone else might be like, oh, I love having the plan. And, so like, I just think that everybody has a gift. And if you don't know what that gift is, just like, honestly, just pray on it. Really, just ask to be shown what your gift is. And eventually you will be shown that. Like, I was praying for this years ago with my want for a garden, and praying for this last year when I'm like, I don't know what I should do for a job. And now, today, like, I can say that those prayers are being answered, and it sometimes takes time, but it's so worth it. And so, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for that. That was so encouraging. It's for me and for everyone else. And thank you. Shout out to Waters Above. She said that I'm making content and making a platform for the Flathead Sisterhood connections. And I appreciate that. But that's not something concrete that I can trade. I don't make anything physically that that could be of value. I'm thinking more physical stuff, but I could find something, and I'm going to stay optimistic, and anyone else who's listening would definitely have been encouraged by your words, Dottie. I appreciate that. And I just lost my train of thought again, you guys. This is bad today. I'm just like everywhere. I cannot stick with one thought. I have so many things that I want to talk to you about. Oh, okay. So this wasn't it, but this was another one. You had mentioned that you were Pisces. So, I know what it was. Sorry. So first, I'm going to go back to what I was actually going to say, which was pertaining to the very last thing you said, which was about the Creator. You said you've been praying a lot, and He finally answered your prayers, and it just took time. So what I was going to ask was about your connection with God, or with creation, or the Creator. Would you be willing to explain to us your spiritual walk, and how everything has changed with you being awake spiritually?
Yeah. Growing up, I really wasn't religious at all. My mom had been like a Jehovah's Witness earlier in her life, but her and I never went to church together, and it just wasn't a part of our lives. And then when we moved from the eastern side of Washington to the western side, and so my the neighbor that lived next to my granny was a girl 2 years younger than me. So, her and I were best friends for years. And her mom, her family, they went to church. And so my best friend, she didn't want to go by herself. And she's like, well, like, do you want to come with me? I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Let's do this. And yeah, I had thought of myself Christian, because I was going to a Christian church, so that was what I thought. But I really never liked going to church. It was always very boring, and it just really didn't interest me. And like, if my friend wasn't going, I wouldn't have gone. And our pastor at the time, he died, and we got a new pastor, and her mom didn't like that pastor. So then we stopped going to that church. They didn't find another one or whatever. That was when I stopped going to church. And that was probably, I think I was probably 11 or 12, somewhere in there. So then growing up, I guess I was probably like agnostic. Like I didn't really care. I thought that religion was a joke. I just didn't matter to me really at all. And so then, fast forward through life, 2017 comes around and Flat Earth comes around, and that changes everything. And I'm sorry, I have an alarm going off. Hopefully that.
No worries.
But so Flat Earth comes around and changes everything. And now at this point, I am very, very confident in saying that this realm was created. There's definitely a creator. I found not only the Bible, but other religious teachings a lot more interesting, because I think there's like the stories are the same in every language. There's just maybe details changed, and it's like everyone is telling the same story. And I still have issues with organized religion, basically. You still see how many lies there are in that, and how easy it is to twist the truth and stuff like that. But I am not opposed to reading the Bible. I'm not opposed to reading really any religious text about any religion. I find them all fascinating, but I wouldn't ever consider myself to be one religion. I mean, if there's one that is being like connected to nature and stuff like that, that would be probably the religion that I would go with the most, because to me, I feel like whoever is, the devil in this realm, I feel like that entity is in charge of the fake world, the world in the cities, the world in technology, the world in just AI, and like that is the devil's world to me. And so if you want to find the creator, you go out into nature, or you plant a pack of seeds, and you will see that everything it's lined up perfectly for us. I mean, you can plant one radish seed, and if you just let it go to the point that it's creating its own seed, you'll get like 50 seeds just from that one, what would have been one radish. And it's just so amazing that like the creator really does want us to be fruitful and multiply. And so everything is made to feed us and to heal us and to aid us. And that's all in the natural world. And we may think that we have everything set up and cushy and perfect, and nothing's going to go wrong in the city. And then an act of nature, a tsunami, a hurricane, whatever, wipes it all out. And that to me is the creator humbling us in that, you can live in the devil's fake world. You can be a part of that all you want. But if nature decides that it's time to go, we can't do anything to stop that. And the planet could quite literally wipe us all out and be perfectly healed and have no problem. And we can't do anything to stop it. So yeah, I definitely believe in creation, and I think we're just so blessed to live in such a special place, you know, like you really can feel the the love that was poured into creating this place, and it's just wonderful that we're able to be here.
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. And to get even a little bit deeper, if you don't mind, what do you think we are? Like, what do you think like our consciousness is? Have you thought that deeply into it? I just had a conversation about this before.
Um, I think that we are always on a soul journey, and so it's like energy can't be created or destroyed. It just is. And for whatever reason, at this moment, we are in this body and this level of consciousness. And I just think that every level that we go to, we're supposed to learn something, because our soul is eternal. Our soul is straight from God, straight from, you know, the ultimate of creation. That's where our soul is from, and like where it always is. But we just are constantly like going through this realm, different levels of it, and there's always something that we are here to learn. And yeah, we can't get to the next place that we're going to go without learning the lesson that we needed to back here. And people always like talk about like, oh, would you like open this door and erase all your mistakes, or would you open this door and have eternal peace or some nonsense, whatever. But it's like I wouldn't ever erase my past mistakes, because some of the mistakes I made, yes, they were a mistake at the time, but that path that I was on led me to having my son Trent in my life. And like I can't imagine living in a realm where he doesn't exist. Like there's nothing worth, not making that mistake to have the reality where he doesn't exist in it. There's nothing that I could ever do to change that path. And so that's something that's really helped me in my growth the last couple of years, is just knowing that, like, yes, you can make mistakes, like that is going to happen, but sometimes it's really not a mistake. Like everything really is just a lesson, and even though it seems awful, it really might not be. And so I think, yeah, if we can look at it as a lesson and what we can learn from it, then it'll help us grow way more than just beating ourselves up over like, oh, I can't believe that I did that stupid thing again. And being hard on ourselves really doesn't ever do the trick. I don't really grow well with tough love. So
No, right? And I'm my own worst enemy, and I'm sure you are too. Like, I really need to do better about that. And the way that you like the conversation is going, like your thought consciousness, your thought energy is radiated out into everything. Your subconscious, your plants know that you are stressed out, and that your dog, your cat, we are such powerful energetic beings, and even like our thoughts, our subconscious, they affect our body. When you're stressed and when you hate yourself and when you beat yourself up, your back is probably hurting, your neck is probably hurting, you have a migraine. And I think that there are certain thoughts or negative thoughts that affect certain parts of the body. But that just goes, back to what you said. Like you can't grow in negativity. You have to change your whole mindset from your subconscious all the way through. Like you have to carry that through consciously and say, I intentionally, like, I need to catch myself. I have to intentionally remember to stay positive. And it is, I don't know about you, sister, but it's difficult for me. And it's work.
It is, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've definitely battled with depression through life, which really at the end of everything, like, I don't know that I even have depression, because if I'm doing the things that I need to do to take care of myself, I don't have those negative feelings. You know, like if I'm always drinking my water and trying to get movement in a day, like those two things can change your mood so much. And, you know, sometimes it's like, well, am I really depressed, or am I just like being okay with not taking care of myself? And sometimes, like, we don't want to admit that truth, because, you know, the truth really can hurt. And when you have to hold yourself accountable, it can just be really difficult, because you're like, yeah, when you're accountable, you have to atone for, you know, your bad behaviors, reactions, whatever. And, you know, really at the end of everything, we're the only ones who are to blame for where our life is. And but
No, I agree. We're the only ones to blame for where our life is. So do you subscribe to the notion of past lives, or that we've chosen our lives, and that, like, personally chosen our lives? Like, what going?
I definitely think that that we have past lives. Because, yeah, if we're constantly on a soul journey, then we've been on this journey. And I have never, like, figured out what my past lives are, but I have one of my ex-boyfriends that we dated, but at this point, like, we won't ever make it work to date again. But I don't have any ill feelings for him or anything like that. But ever since we've met, him and I both have felt like we have known each other long before that, like many, 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 many lifetimes. Like, it's kind of an ongoing joke that I tell him that I have been telling him for many lives to stop doing dumb shit. And like every time he messages me, he's just like doing some other just dumb thing, whatever. And so, yeah, like, I've always been telling you that you need to stop doing that. And like, so yeah, I definitely think that we've been around. I mean, some of us have. Some of us are brand new, you know, really, like, everybody is on a different soul journey. And some people, this is their first time in this go around. And I don't know, I think that some people, I don't think that, like, certain people just don't ascend. You know, some people are going to stay here and they're going to keep cycling through a few times, and they just, like, aren't going to get it. But you know, for whatever reason, maybe that's part of their path. So
Right. So you can't knock him. You can't knock him. That's awesome. I want to drop your channel in the chat. Just take a quick moment here to say hi to everyone. I appreciate you guys for being here. They're loving this talk, Dottie. Appreciate you for giving your thoughts. So, Three Fingers, hey, Three Fingers, good to see you, bro. I will meet you soon. One of these days it will happen. I'm sad that I didn't get to meet you at Flattoberfest. I really wish I could have gotten to. Or meet up with you and Christian Knapp while I was in Myrtle Beach, but never got together with you guys. So hey, Dean, hey, Waters Above, thanks for sticking around and Awakened Mind. You guys, and Sharvy, Shari, if you're still here, Shari, hello, my dear. Anthony, if you're still around, thanks for the tips on EFC. I did not get to watch recently, but I would love to. I'm going to have to catch up on that. Apparently, they're going to be starting a market too. So, anyone who is starting a store, a market, is selling a product, is willing to trade for their product, please let us know, because this is something that we need, right? Let's see who else is here. Dr. Law. Hey, Law. You said the flat earth. Oh my gosh. Yes. The flat earth meetup yesterday was awesome. Was awesome. I had so much fun. There were so many people there. Dean was there, and Waters Above. No, Waters Above. I'm sorry. I wasn't going to say Waters Above.
She was there in spirit.
She was there in spirit. Yeah, she was there in spirit. But Stavely and Ted and Law and Vinny, my big bro, Free Flow was there. Beth, we had a new lady come out. So it was her first time. Law said that he sent out like 130 text messages to like 130 people, and one person came out. So I'm glad that we were able to get her out there. Shelly Aller, hey Shelly, hope you're still listening. Love you, sis. And Jennifer M, glad to have you. Oh guys, I'm so sorry, I don't have wrenches for you. Let me change that. Melanie, hey Melanie, and Faye. Oh my gosh, good to see you, ladies. So fellas, I'm noticing something here. For whatever reason, yeah, y'all have wrenches and my ladies don't. So it's going to be opposite now, because I don't know why that is. This is a show for my ladies. So, Dottie, if you don't mind, I'm sorry that I need to change this really quickly and then go to my page and do this. But I have really enjoyed doing this. So you are painting still every day. February is almost over, and you're going to continue into for March. So I guess we can look forward to seeing all your work for February.
Yes. I definitely will be doing another recap video of February, and I'm really excited for that one, because I know that I've done some of my most favorite paintings this month. I that one because I can just really see how much my skill is growing, and it's really great. A bonus from it is it's motivating me to do other things every day that are good for me, like drinking more water and getting my workout in. Those things are becoming a much better routine, because I just think, well, if I can sit down and paint every single day for, 2 hours or however long it takes me, I can do other things that's good for me too. And at the end of it, really, like, I like drinking water and I really like working out. So there's really no excuse not to do those things. But yeah, sometimes you just get like kind of stuck in the like lack of motivation mode, and it can be really hard to break out of that. But yeah, I've been having some really good workouts lately. I was doing Zumba quite a bit, but then now I am doing more weightlifting and just using Zumba as like a warm up, and I can really tell it's making such a difference. And that's another thing. I'm trying to just like be easy on myself, because a couple years ago I lost 60 pounds, I think, and I feel like I look really awesome. It's a little bit difficult to see those Facebook memories come up, because like it was only a couple years ago that I was down all that weight, and then with my like a couple of breakups and moving and jobs ending, unemployment, all this
life,
I gained the weight back, and so now I'm trying to lose it again. And yeah, it was difficult to just like keep the motivation, but I'm really just trying to commit to doing things that are better for me, and
Yeah.
giving myself the grace that for whatever reason I had to learn this lesson of like losing the weight and gaining the weight and losing it again. And so once I lose it again, I'm not planning on finding it. So
Oh my gosh. No, but that is amazing. And I struggled the same. This is the smallest I've ever been, and it's weird to me. And it's my self-esteem and my mental image is something that I still struggle with every day because it has not. I can't say that it has anything to do with the number on the scale anymore. Because the number has gone down. It's like I said, it's the lowest it's ever been, but I'm still not happy, and I still have problems with food and thinking about food and all of that stuff. But trying to give yourself grace and to be like, you have something to be proud of. You never in your life thought that you would be less than 150 pounds, and you are right now. That is something that you can celebrate, that you can be okay with, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I have nothing to apologize for, and those little things like that are internally in me is something that I have to catch. And I'm so like glad, and you have so much to be proud of with your painting and with going back and doing it and finding that motivation. I mean, you have a lot to be proud of, and I hope that you feel that way because you are incredible and crazy. You are an incredible person. You are a beautiful lady, and I hope that you continue to feel that way. I know it's not always, every day we can't feel that way, but just remember, even though we don't feel beautiful, we don't feel lovable, we don't feel worthy, we don't feel talented and smart, it doesn't mean that we're not. And is there something that you do in particular? Like, I know you talked about like the painting in general has like given you that motivation to keep going, but is there like a mantra or an affirmation or something that you've been specifically telling yourself that's been helping you as well?
not really. I mean, I have a playlist on my channel. It's called Good Morning Gorgeous, and it's just like a handful of different videos. Some music and some are um, kind of like guided meditation things. But there's one in there in particular that I think it's like a 10-minute video, and I think that one is called Step Into Your Greatness or something like that. I don't know. It's one of the first ones in the playlist. And that one is just like it's a very like pump you up kind of thing to listen to. And it just is it's just a really good like manifestation thing to listen to. There's also another one, I think it's the first video in there, that is called I Am a Woman of Distinction. And that thing, I've been listening to that for years now. It's 3 or 4 minutes long, not long at all, but it is just a really like much needed reminder to that like you are enough and that you can just be whatever it is you need to be. You don't need to be anything for the world.
What
And
was the name of the channel so I can find it?
well, they're in a playlist on my channel, because they're just like 2 random videos. But yeah, so if you look in my playlist, it's the one called Good Morning Gorgeous. And
Let me.
and yeah, the one is called I'm a Woman of Distinction. And then the other one, I think it says Step Into Your Greatness. It's like the 10-minute girl or whatever.
Good
Yeah.
Morning Gorgeous. Oh wait, I didn't mean to play off. Let's go back. Oh, stop it. I still don't want that. I just want the full. There we go. There we go. Okay, so I'm a woman of distinction. And then the other one that you said was Step Into Your Greatness. Okay, guided meditation, affirmations. running and working out. Okay, cool. So you guys go check out these. I'm definitely gonna. I think. Look, I've already watched The Woman of Distinction. Actually, I think that Waters Above might have posted that on her Facebook one time.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. But yeah, really when I notice that I just haven't been taking care of myself, that's when I just really try and reel it back in. And like, you may have had a bad yesterday, but at the end of everything, we always only have the moment that we're in right now. And so if we can just focus on making this moment a little bit better than last moment, and eventually you'll be a million moments ahead and things will get so much better. But when you mentioned earlier, you still might not feel good even though you've lost the weight. That, I think, is the lesson that I was supposed to learn with gaining this weight back, because while I miss my thin body, I was still like curvy and looked feminine and nice, but I was definitely 50 pounds lighter. So while I miss that body a ton, I remember the feelings that I had when I had that body, and I was going through my worst breakup. Absolutely the worst breakup that I've had. And then the one after that was not great in many other ways. So it's like, while I had my skinny body, I was so miserable at that point in my life, because the terrible boyfriend, he didn't appreciate me. There are many reasons why he is an ex. And it was, it's like, I looked the best that I have had her. I looked the best that I had, and I couldn't even appreciate it because I was so miserable just dating this person and trying to end it with him. And just, I couldn't even celebrate that I looked amazing because I was dealing with this stupid, stray bouquet of red flags that I that I was dating. And so, yeah, I mean, that might be the thing that I had to learn through this, is like, yes, even though I am heavy, again, I don't hate myself like I did the last time that I was heavy.
Yeah.
So that's improvement. And I know that when I get skinny again, I'm not going to be dealing with that shitty boyfriend and breakup situation, because I'm single right now, and I'm very adamantly staying single for quite a while. And even if I find a boyfriend, we will not be living together, like, possibly ever, because I've lived with so many people that at this point I can't imagine living with someone again. Like, it's enough.
Right. I know. I feel the same way. Like, I'm single, and I'm just in the stage where I'm okay with just making friends. I'm not looking to move in with anybody. I'm not looking to get tied down to anybody. And you've said that you've had a string of bad breakups and red flags, and I haven't had any. I haven't been in a relationship once. And the one relationship that I feel like I could have had lasted 6 months, and it was it was toxic. It was so toxic. I lived with him, and for 6 months, and verbally abusive. And, I told him that I had lost a lot of weight. Right. And he was like, oh, well, don't show me that picture, because I don't like good, big girls, type deal. Like, right. Like, so I'm very fortunate, and you should have a lot to be proud of, to not be in those relationships. But what is it, for women who we know, we have been, you more than me, but me with a little bit of experience that I've had, I feel like I had enough self-worth in me to still stand up for myself to be able to leave him. And I feel like that's not the case for a lot of women. A lot of women are still in very abusive and destructive and toxic relationships because they don't have that self-worth. Is there anything that you would like to talk to them about, or you want to comment on that?
Yeah. I mean, so much of it is like we really think that person will change. I think that we just, in general, we want to see the good in people, and um, and like we want to believe that they can be better and that they can just, yeah, just be better. And I haven't been in the situation where I was like financially dependent on a man. Like I couldn't leave him because I didn't have like my own job or anything like that. I've always worked. Um, but I have been in relationships since I got out of high school. I married my high school boyfriend. Um, and then I met my son's dad, and then I was like finally moving out to what was supposed to be my own apartment, my very first place. And then I moved in the boyfriend who was just a bouquet of red flags, and then there for a few years. And what happened for me with him though was I wanted to go to the Flat Earth conference in Dallas, and he did not want to go. And it was weird because he had introduced me to Flat Earth. He showed me the video that like woke me up, and he was an Owen Benjamin fan. So I found Owen through this boyfriend as well.
Wow.
Going to be there, and I was like, "You don't want to meet your favorite comedian?"
Right.
I don't understand that at all. And so I decided to go by myself because at that point, I had been calling into Mark Sargent's show, Stranger Night, and quite a few people knew who I was. I wasn't aware of just how many people like knew who I was. But yeah, so there's a ton of people that I wanted to go and I wanted to meet. And I had not gone on a solo trip in years, and I was so nervous, but I was so excited. And so I went to Dallas, and then like as soon as I came back, well, when I was in Dallas, I had just like the best time. I got to meet everybody that I wanted to. I got to see all the presentations that I wanted to. Like the trip was 100% mine, and I didn't have to ask anybody like, "Oh, do you want to go here? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that?" No, it was like, "Do I want to do any of that?" And it was so great. And so yeah, I came home, and I was just I feel like I had up leveled to a point that I couldn't physically stand to be around that boyfriend anymore. Like I people who like they all saw my light and weren't trying to dim it at all. I wasn't too loud for any of these people. I wasn't too much. I wasn't too much of anything for any of them. So coming home to him, I just couldn't take it anymore. And so yeah, I told him that he had to move out, and it was a long breakup. After that, like tried to come back like 2 times, but I just really held my ground. And if he had tried to make amends in the first probably 2 months, I probably would have reconsidered. And I did reconsider one time, but then immediately changed my mind back. But him not showing me the effort that I was begging him to give me, that made me like, if he had fought for me how I wanted in those first couple of months, he would have had a chance. But when the fact that he didn't, it showed me he was okay with losing me, and it showed me that he wasn't what I wanted. And so then finally, on like the third or whatever, when he did finally want to start really fighting for me, I was like, no, sir, you had your chance. Like, you had the chance when I was crying and begging to give that to me and you refused to do it. And so now I don't want it. I don't want anything to do with you. I couldn't possibly imagine giving you my time now. And really, like, everybody gets to that point of being done in their own time. And really, there's really no saying what is going to bring you that peace, that closure, and that space to just move on. But whatever it is for you, like, you get to that point that you're just so done with that person. Like, at this point, I'm so done with him that if someone told me that he died, I would be like, oh, okay. I'm like, I haven't thought of him in forever, like it wouldn't even faze me in the slightest if I found out that he was, and I don't wish that he dies, but I wouldn't feel any emotion at all. It would just be like, oh, okay, that's a part of life, man. And yeah, so really, yeah, I don't know what is right for other people's relationships. And yeah, at this point, I mean, I don't even know what's right for me in relationships, so I couldn't possibly really tell someone else what they need to be doing because everyone is on such different paths. And when I was first single, it was very, very hard and I was very lonely, and I did not like being single at all because I was so used to going from boyfriend to boyfriend and living with all of the, I was always in a relationship. And so the first, when I first it was very difficult. But now at this point, I'm like you would have to be, you have to be such a awesome level of a human to make it worth it for me to stop being single, because I really enjoy being single and just not having to deal with people. But still at the end of everything, I do enjoy male energy. It's just a different interaction than female energy. But it's very hard to just be friends with a guy. A guy especially, he's going to get feelings for his girlfriend. No matter how much he maybe doesn't want to, or, says he won't, whatever. I see the guy always gets feelings for the girl. And I'd rather just not even be friends with guys if that's how I feel with that. But then at the same time, I'm yeah, but guys are handy to have around. They're stronger than they can lift stuff, or they're taller, or
right.
But yeah, I really, I don't know at all what the future holds for dating with me, but
Me neither. But I feel like going just to build off of what you said already, our society has taken the love out of relationships. I feel like really you said that you got married straight out of high school, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with young love or anything like that, but just thinking about the society that we grew up in, how much it puts so much emphasis and importance on finding a mate. And it has for a while. You would go courtshipping, and the girls would be presented at the right time, the right age, and all of that stuff. But just this is another area that they have cut the connection to the creator, so we don't know the right way to connect with others. So you had to go through so many heartbreaks to even get to be okay today. And now you find someone who has to or not find someone who has to, but just it would have been different if we had been given the right formula. right? You know, whatever correct formula it had been. Same for me. Like, I don't know what I'm doing out here with men. I'm just playing it by ear and just now noticing really what it feels like to get attention, and realizing that attention is nice, and but not always, you know, I don't have to accept it. And then also remembering that just because I don't accept it doesn't mean like I'm a bad person, right? Because sometimes when guys, you know, make a move on you, or give you an advance or a compliment, and you don't necessarily reciprocate, or feel appreciative for their, you know, like attention, then, you know, they feel some kind of way, right? They feel some kind of way. So, I agree with you, just taking your time, because I too have enjoyed being single, and living with that man for one time for 6 months was not a fun experience for me, and I don't want to repeat that again. And I have no idea what dating looks like for me either, but it's fun to talk to boys, it's fun to flirt, it's fun to, you know, do that. But I just want, I'm not looking to settle down like you are. I want to create my own future. I want to create my own, like, you're just getting your house. I want to buy my first house too, right? I want to, if I do get married and find that partner, that man that's going to support me, I want it supposed to be okay. Like, he has his house, I have my house, and when we come together, it's time to come together as equals and put in for our, you know, make our future. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, after living with so many people and just so many relationships and all this stuff, I find a great value in just not dating someone, especially when, like, I know that I will be much more open to dating once I have my house, because right now the hindrance has definitely been that I live with my family, and I don't want to bring people over here to meet them, and I don't have a place that I can just like hang out and like chill with someone and, you know, enjoy their company. Like, we could go like do nature stuff or whatever, but, you know, there's something about just like, or just kick back and watch a movie or something like that. Um, and so yeah, I feel like it's been a really good time to be single while I'm living with them. And even once I have my own space, I am like, I'm very much looking forward to that. Um, because even when I had my apartment and that boyfriend lived with me, it was still my apartment. He just had like infiltrated my space. But now this time, like, it's going to be 100% my house, my space, my, you know, my domain. And yeah, I can already feel that I will be more open um, to dating, but, I'm okay with not having anything serious right now, because like, really, at the end of it, like, I don't want to live with another boyfriend. Even if that is my person and I end up marrying them, I honestly think that we're going to have two separate houses, or at least I have to have like
My
my
own
own
space.
shed, tiny house, whatever. Because I find a great joy in just not speaking to people sometimes, and just being people. As much as they may be awesome, I may love them, all this, I just still want to just shut down the noise and just have no one asking me my thoughts or, you know, whatever. And so yeah, I think dating is definitely going to be interesting, but I also am of, I don't know if I'm like an old soul or, you know, it's whatever, but I hate the thought of dating apps like Tinder, and they swipe on your face, and
God,
it sounds so awful to
it
me
is
that
awful. It
I
is.
will I will never date in that way. But meeting someone in public is even more difficult, because right now you can't see people's faces. And I mean,
Right?
in one way, it like it has narrowed down all the people that I don't have to talk to and be disappointed by, because I'm like, oh, you're covering your face, so we don't have anything to speak about, and we don't need to worry about dating because you took care of it for me. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. I thought about doing like a TV show where I would like go up to a male and say, first of all, are you single? All right, I'm looking for candidates to apply for the position of spouse or boyfriend. Would you be interested in going through our pre-selection process? And then be like, okay, so first, what is your major source of news channel? And if he says like CNN or BBC or something, be like, fail. Be like, are
Yeah.
you vaccinated? Like go through like all of this stuff.
Pretty much, you have to just ask them, like, what do you think about the moon landing? Are you vaccinated? And do you want to live on 20 acres of off-grid situation? And those three things that's about all I know, which I will say that the bear community, that is like, if I'm going to find a husband, I would think that it will be one of the bears, because they are so very aligned with the community that I want to live in. And there are more guys than women in communities like that. And so, there is definitely an opportunity for the single ladies. But one thing that I've noticed with um everybody having been in relationships or whatever, even if someone is great and awesome, everybody has some baggage and some issues and a crazy side and whatever. And some people bring out the goofy, good, crazy side of you, and other people bring out the angry side that you didn't even know existed in you. And yeah, I don't know how different things would have been if I hadn't had the relationships that I'd had. But like I said earlier, really all is just lessons. And there is a lesson even in the bad relationships. But I think that there's a great value in just being okay with being by yourself and on your own. And if you want to go on a date, go on a date. Or if you want to just take yourself on a date, like, do that too. You don't have to have a companion to go on a date. But I do get that, like, I do enjoy male interaction. It is really fun.
Right, we can't say that. Like we're grown ass women, right? Like, come on. Like, I'm not even gonna. But listen, I am not interested in participating in the way that the rest of the world does. Like, that's not what I'm interested in. And the people in the chat, the guys in the chat are all in on this. It's like Daryl said that it is very hard to date, and I agree. And Anthony made a good point about Discord. Are you on Discord at all?
I am not on Discord. I'm in Telegram, and like the Times app. But
Discord
yeah.
is for fellowship and stuff. And he and Vader Bear, or the Mr. Vader, have what's it called? Enclosed Cosmology
Okay, nice.
group. And then I just joined a group on there called the Ladies Lounge, for ladies who are Torah followers. So I know you said that you read the Bible, so I'm not sure. You'd be more than welcome to. Most of them are flat earthers. It's just another place to find community. Because we can't really do that on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. So Discord, you guys, if you do not have a Discord profile, or you don't have Discord, I would strongly encourage you to. It's interesting to get a hold of at first, because it's like different servers, and each group is like its own server and has its own rules and everything, and you have to get invited. But there are several Discord groups that I'm sure that you would love, and I would not be surprised if there would be several bear Discord groups already, just because the Bear Nation is so big. That's the next thing. There are so many different groups and peoples and communities to get plugged into. That's another one that I wanted to get into. But so yeah, you're just out here making friends and you're cool. You're gonna move into your house with and how old is your son?
He just turned 10 in January.
So. 10 in January. Yes. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be beautiful. And you guys are gonna make it. And we'll find, if it's meant to be, we'll find someone eventually. I'm not, Anthony and Law were talking about it in the chat, how we place a lot of emphasis, a lot of importance on things that are not important. And you were saying, take yourself out, treat yourself nice. Like, we don't need to wait for someone else to love us, to love ourselves. And we do not need to, tie ourselves to someone, always. Like, that's not the first thing that we need. And then Ray was saying that the relationships are stupid because they always end up or lead to children. And, I think that relationships can be awesome and you choose not to have children. And I will be one of those relationships. I will at least not have any children of my own, offspring. That is just something that I don't want. I think that motherhood is amazing. And I know that there's a lot that goes into it that I don't even know. But the first 6 years are something that I'm very not interested in doing myself.
Yeah. Motherhood it's an incredible gift, without a doubt. It's unlike anything that you'll experience. Being pregnant was, without question, one of the best times during my life. I loved being pregnant. It's so amazing to feel you have life growing in your belly. On the weird side, though, you literally do feel like you have been overtaken by an alien, without question. I mean, like, your body, your organs literally move out of the way and get stuffed into freaking wherever to accommodate your baby. And then your baby will be in your belly, and like they'll stretch, and so they push down on your bladder, and then you literally feel their feet up in your ribs, and like they're like standing up inside your belly, and you're just like, what do I do? Like, you can go back down there, like, that's uncomfortable. And so
just now
it is such a gift, so wonderful,
such a gift.
But it is the way that it, like, I feel like pregnancy and labor is a piece of cake compared to the lifetime of motherhood, because you have this human who depends on you solely for their life. And so you have to dedicate everything you have, in the first couple years of their life, especially, to literally just keeping them alive. But then you get to, like, as they're growing and they're starting to have like problems in life, and you have to offer advice, and you find yourself like, you're just like, well, like, I'm 35 and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You're like, how do I tell this human how to fix his shit? You're like, I don't even know what's going on with my shit. And it's such an interesting time for you, because I feel like there's not a parent alive who was like, yeah, I knew what I was doing the whole time. No, we're literally all just winging it, and we're all still just like messed up from our trauma and our damage and our baggage and whatever. And then we have kids, and we're like, well, now we have to teach this person how to not be messed up and traumatized and have baggage, and you're like, I didn't even sort through mine. And so
right, but I'm responsible for you. Like that's an amazing job and responsibility. And you described, I feel like most of just adulthood, right, just winging it, we don't even know what we're doing, but to go and then have to teach and be responsible for another human being, like you have a 10-year-old, like that is a whole life that you have had to nurture and protect and take care of and be responsible for, like, and girl, you did it. You are doing it, and more power to you. Like applause, applause, applause to all of the women, all of them. I look up to you guys, and I have heard all of your stories. And listen, y'all might think I would make a good mom, but I could make a good firefighter. I could make a good doctor. I could make a good lawyer. Don't mean I want to be one.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with knowing your place in the world, because it's like, yes, our bodies were built in a certain way to harbor life, but if you know that that is not right for the situation that you're in, then you're better off by not going to that route and like possibly messing yourself up or someone else or whatever. It's like, it's not a slight thing to bring another person into the realm. And yeah, I don't think that there's anything wrong with just being like, hey, you know what, that's not for me, like, because that doesn't mean that you can't be a great mentor, a great friend, a great
aunt. I'd be the great aunt. Listen, what Trent is his name? Trent? See,
yeah,
Trent can call me Auntie Ari. I'll be Auntie Ari.
Right?
I'll come and bring all the sugar, and then I'll send him back home to mom when he's hyped up.
And there is a great value in that, because everyone can learn from people for just grabbing my keys, for different things. Everybody has something to teach, and so yeah, I don't think that there's anything wrong with being a mentor in your way. And just yeah, I think that there's great value in a good aunt, or a good friend that you can call. And
right.
And a lot of times, like, kids don't want to talk to their parents about whatever, and so to have someone that they can confide in, that will just offer an opinion, or just offer someone to listen when that's all you need.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think there's no value in that. So,
and I think it's just I know that I don't want to be pregnant myself. I know I don't want to have my own offspring, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to be there for the kids that are there. My sisters are adopted, so who knows? Maybe down the line I wouldn't adopt an older child, or even maybe end up with a man that has older children, as long as it's not a baby and I don't have to look. I like my boobs. I like my boobs.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I used to think that I would have more children than I did, but life just worked out how it did, that I only have the one, and I still don't know. I mean, I could meet someone tomorrow that I end up having a baby with. You really have no idea. Anyway, at this point, though, thinking that I won't have more children, I'm okay with, because my son is 10, and like, I'm not gonna lie, I really like to sleep at night. I really enjoy not getting up every 2 hours to breastfeed a baby and change a baby's diaper. Like, I enjoy that he can do chores, and I like this age where he like isn't 100% dependent on me for my life. Like, the child can feed himself at this point, and
Yes.
I like that stage. So, definitely, like, if it happened, absolutely, I would welcome another baby. I think that children definitely are a gift.
Yeah.
But yeah, like at this point of thinking that like that's not going to happen for me, I'm okay with that too, because it's like, you know what? I like not carrying a car seat around. Like I'm not going to lie and say that that was a fun time in life, having to carry a diaper bag and a car seat with your baby in it. Like it's not, that'll test you as a person right there. So
I know, right? I know. But what a lot of my the rebuttals that I get when I give that argument about adopting is that, oh, that's so difficult. The older ones are so hard. They have so much baggage. And I'm like, but, I can love someone through that. Girls who are like 15, 16 without a mom, without that guidance, I can only imagine. Why shouldn't I take the time to pour into? So it's not, it's just that it's not children in general, but just the younger ones. So I think I could be something to an older child, but just in general, being able to help create a world where it would be easier for other parents to raise their children, creating that community. I don't, the Bible says that there are two different types of people in the world. I mean, they said that there's lots of different kinds of people in the world, but there are teachers and there are parents. And I feel like if I had to choose one, I would love to be a teacher. The parents don't always have to be teachers too. And like you said, we all have something to contribute to the community. And that would be something that I would do. I'd be that one. I'd be that one. And I don't know if that's the one thing that keeps me from being in a relationship, then that's that. That's my decision I've made, and it'll be okay. We all have something to give, and that is my 2 cents on it. So I don't want to keep beating a dead horse. I think that the communities that we have built are so awesome, and we have so many amazing parents. A lot of parents that are homeschooling. Are you homeschooling?
I'm not. Yeah, he did 1 year. Last year was remote learning, and then this year they went back into school. His dad wouldn't let us continue the homeschooling. So yeah, he's unfortunately been back in public school. And I mean, that's like another huge reason that I am like jumping on this opportunity to get this house, because it's so far outside the cities, and I just really don't know what is going to happen with Trent's dad, because like he is bought into this narrative, and like, he's had his latest booster, and like I have to be realistic that like, what if something happens to him?
Right.
And like, what if stuff in the cities gets worse? And so I want to be far outside of that situation if something like that happens. And this house is like, it's way away from the cities, and the town that it's in is just a really good town, and like good people there. And so yeah, I think you have to just like have a different option. But yeah, I would love to homeschool. I wish that things could have been different, but
It's okay. It's okay.
it all happens how it's supposed to, I guess. So, really can't change the past. So I try to not like stress on how I thought things would be or whatever, because I can't change it. So
No, right. We can't do that. We need to stay in the present. We need to be thankful for what we have and acknowledge what has been, and use that, knowledge as much as possible in the present. Because the past and the future, they only exist in our minds, right? Because the present is all that is. And when the future comes, we experience it as the present. So again, the future is still in our brain, and so is the past. And that's something that I try really hard to remember and remind myself, because I'm stuck in both places. I either just completely like rerun my whole life, like everything that had just happened the day before, like especially if I interact with other people, just constantly like, I could have said this, I could have said this, I could have said this, like replay, and then replay, oh, how I would have made it better. And it's like, no, leave the past in the past. Don't try to predict the future. Don't try to plan and what you're going to say and be prepared for it. Just live in the now. Just accept yourself how you are. And that is something that is difficult. And, we need to, I think it's something that we have been bred out of doing, because we sit in front of a TV, right? We zone out. We go into la la land. Our attention spans are shorter now. I think that's all plays into it. But Dottie, I have really enjoyed talking to you today. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story and sharing your thoughts with me and your paintings. Oh my gosh. Okay, so please, for anyone who is interested in buying your paintings or buying your jams, will you let them know what the prices are? Do you have prices?
Yeah, so the jam is $7 for a half pint, and then shipping is just based on where you are. So, obviously if you're on the East Coast, it's a little more expensive to ship it than if you're over here, but shipping isn't really that much. I just shipped some in Washington here, and it was like $10 of shipping for him, but like it would be more expensive going to like the East Coast or whatever. But
Right.
but yeah, $7 for a half pint, and then the paintings, it's a 8x10 on canvas. Those ones are starting at 30, and then generally like $10 for shipping. And like I can do custom ones if you want. I'm best at like landscapes and nature scenery. I'm willing to attempt to paint anything though, because it all helps me in my skills. So, yeah. And then also, on March 7th, Waters Above and I are going to be back with Monday Night Trivia. And so that will be on Waters Above channel or YouTube channel. So yeah, there's a promo on my channel and hers for that. But, yeah, pretty excited.
Awesome. Yes, guys. So go check it out. If you haven't already subscribed to Dottie's World, and go and check her out. She reads the Chronicles of Narnia books sometimes. And as she shouted out earlier, her and Waters Above are going to be starting Monday Night Trivia on the Waters. So it's called Waters World Conspiracy Trivia on Monday nights, and that starts on March 7th at 7 p.m.
It'll be 7:30 p.m., 4:30 my time, because
Okay,
I'm on
7:30 Eastern Standard Time.
so yeah.
7:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's going to be awesome. I'm definitely going to try to make that cool. And please go ahead and subscribe to Waters Above for that. Subscribe to Dottie's channel. Remember to if you need jam, try to come to Dottie. Don't go to Walmart. Everybody knows they need a painting in a custom painting in their home. Because who wants a air blown something from Walmart? I mean, yeah, right. The Hotties World. Yes, Tommy. Tommy, tell the truth. Thank you for stopping by. Waters Above, thank you for being here tonight. MK Ultra, much love to you. Please give my love to Wendy. I hope you were able to stop by. Steffi. Oh my gosh, Steffi P, I have to talk to you. Yes, I appreciate that, but I've been reading your book and it is fascinating. She mentioned a reality transurfing. Have you ever heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
It is a very interesting book that is helping me see or giving me a different way of thinking about reality and how to navigate it, and the negative things that come in the world. Because we put so much emphasis and importance on things that aren't important, right? So anyway, reality transurfing, y'all need to go read it and open your minds. Oh gosh, Young Love, thank you so much. It was awesome to have you here. And Awakened Mind, thank you so much for stopping by. It was nice to have you. Let's see who else. Anthony, love you, brother. And Dr. Law, hope you were. We had so much fun. Hopefully, there's another meetup soon. I don't. Do you know of any meetups that you can shout out, Dottie? I don't think I do.
There is a bear meetup this Saturday. So it's February 26th at I don't remember what time, but it's at Miller Sylvania Park in Olympia, Washington. And so like flat earthers are welcome, it's not just bears, but like there are going to be majority of bears there. And so yeah, you can bring stuff to sell and trade if you make anything interesting. I'm making a bunch of jam and then I'm making a bunch of paintings, and that's what I'm taking to sell and trade. But it'll be like a potluck. You can bring any food and drink you want. Children are welcome. And so it's going to be a really good time. There's going to be a lot of people there. And if you haven't gone to a meetup, like definitely come and check it out. It's going to be a really good time. So
Yes, yeah, I wish I could go. That sounds like so much fun. Today's music selections have been given to us by Miss Dottie. Dottie, do you want to tell me a little bit about Mr. Crumb?
Yes, so he does piano streams on Sunday nights at 6 p.m. And his channel has been deleted a few times. I think the current one is Don't Follow Crumb. I think that's his latest. But yeah, he's a flat earther. He's a bear as well. And so he will take requests on the piano or guitar, and he loves to do live streams playing music. So this album, Fun with Venison, that is his album. He did everything on there, and you can find it on YouTube and on Spotify. And he's really awesome. He's so incredibly talented, and he's just really awesome. So I'm a huge fan of his music.
That is pretty cool. I was excited to hear a new artist. So guys, we are going to be listening to the second song by Mr. Crumb. Where have you been? And I'm gonna go ahead and grab the link and drop it in the chat. You guys, my next things that I can talk about, I'm going to be reading another book. Ariel reads Rainbows Russian Roulette Tuesday, probably around 9:30, 10 o'clock. Stay tuned for that. I think I might need to choose another night just because I feel like ODD is going to be a lot of people. If he does his stream like 30 minutes before mine, or like even the same night, like that's just not good planning. So if ODD and Sean and David Weiss are going to have a show that night, I think I might need to change it. But this week we're still going to have it on Tuesday between 9:30 and 10. I will put out an APB for that. But thank you guys so much for being here. Much love to you all. Please enjoy Mr. Crumb and stay flat, guys, and come back to Sisterhood of the Warrior Queens next week. Sorry, I'm not done talking apparently. Sisterhood of the Warrior Queens next week. We are going to be having a round table discussion with Miss Mays, with Sue Finelli, with Suzanne Burrow of the Truth Smacks, and Shelby Young Love 401220 will be joining us. Us five ladies will be discussing, and we might have a pop-up special guest as well. So stay tuned for that. So would love to have you guys all come back for the Sisterhood Roundtable of the Warrior Queens. But with that, now let us go ahead and say goodbye, if I can do this correctly. I love you guys.
be signing autographs, sitting on a camelback, waiting for the motive, floating upstream where everyone will join her. Keep the same persona, keep it all in order, drinking a Corona, heading for the border, walking through a mission, feeling like a kid again, meeting my physician, saying, where have you been? Because everything's black and white when there's only colors. Talking about Meredith, I don't even know her. Waited such a long time just to plainly say that we are in the back of line, living on the street. I follow you to Nazareth to figure out a poem. Talk about Jesus, I don't even know him. We can make it happen, maybe in a train. Yeah, I'm calling out the captain, saying, where have you been? Where have you been? Where have you been? Where have you been? Just to start off the day, down Roscoe Street to the 86A. Get off at the barber shop on Penny Lane. Move up a small hill and follow the plane. Well, I don't know where I'm going, but the shore